Let's face the fact here. What do you think of churches that make you believe that giving everything you have is the only way to redemption? This is Pastor Jiideh, the General Overseer of Charis Christian Church, and blessed with a large congregation of influential calibers who stop at nothing to give large amounts of money, both in local and foreign currencies for whatever they believe in. On the flip side is Ashabi. She's a very powerful woman. She got her powers from her late father, who was the greatest herbalist of his time. It is another year for her late father's memorial, and as a great man that he was, she had come home to pay homage. But something strikes her whenever she comes home to remember the unfortunate incident that happened years back as a youth. These old memories got into her this time, and she is set for vengeance. But what is really happening here? Ashabi is in search for a girl who can fit into her prospect for a job. The question now is, what job? After all scoutings from her most reliable intel for a young, beautiful lady, Sharon was the best preference for the job. Ashabi thinks that Sharon, who hails from Uganda, does not only possess the physical qualities, but something beyond what the physical eyes could see pleased Ashabi. But why Sharon? And for what purpose? Ashabi is on a mission, and her mission is to bring down the great man of God, Jiideh, to his knees. So why Jiideh? The truth is that you wouldn't know the story until you're told every part of the story. It may also interest you to know that Pastor Jiideh is also no ordinary man. He is an occult member and a figurehead who is being used by strong occultists to perpetuate their agenda through the church. He has the wealth and opulence at his disposal. Cars, yachts, houses, you can name them. Should we find it surprising to see men of God in such forbidden places? Jiideh is not exceptional, and what do you expect from a man of his status? He can afford any woman he desires. He has just paid 1 million naira for a stripper that got his attention. He wanted her privately to himself. This stripper is the baddest kind he has ever seen in a while that got him as hard as rock. This time he wants sex at the spot, but she wouldn't give in regardless of the huge amount Jiideh was willing to offer. It became an obsession, and he was becoming inquisitive to know who this goddess is. The stripper looks so much like his choir mistress in his church. She still didn't give him the sex she wanted. Jiideh got home and had no choice other than to pour his frustrations on his innocent wife. Before the coincidence at the club the previous night, Mary had gone to the office of the pastor to seek financial assistance. Her sister had a serious health condition, and she needed the pastor's help. To her surprise, Pastor Jiideh quotes a scripture where it was written in the Holy Book that you should not put your trust in the Son of Man, in whom there is no help but in the Lord. It's funny how these men misinterpret the Bible to mislead the people. And after the coincidence, Pastor Jiideh believes that Mary was the stripper at the club. His obsession for Mary from what he saw at the club became ferocious. He ordered the financial department to make a deposit of 500,000 naira into her account and also include her name in the pastor's care list. Pastor Jiideh and his associate Whaley were in a meeting when poor innocent sister Mary saw the miracle that happened in her life. She came to specially thank the man of God. Pastor Jiideh keeps telling her to stop the pretense even though she wasn't on her official duty at the club. Mary wasn't clear with what the man of God was trying to say, even though she tried to show that she understood him. All Pastor Jiideh wanted was for her to cooperate with him. This is now becoming confusing as Sharon has become Mary. She had already started working for Ashabi and got her first paycheck for a job well done. But what job did she do for Ashabi? She is the same stripper at the club Pastor Jiideh was obsessed about. This virtually means that while the young lady is Mary at the church, she is Sharon at the club. However, Jiideh also made inquiries about Mary at the club and found out her name was also Sharon. Jiideh grew so fond of Mary in the church that whenever she sings, all he sees is the naked Sharon at the club. Jiideh can't wait every night to caress Sharon's succulent body. But he was getting tired of the usual lap dance and he wanted more. Sharon wouldn't want to cross the line with her client. Jiideh was already getting frustrated to leave until Sharon stopped him and gave him what he wanted. Now the question is, what is Ashabi truly looking for from Jiideh? It is a hard drive. It contains all the mysterious information about Jiideh and his cult group, including all their evil plans. But it was not the original drive. Jiideh wouldn't be that careless to take something as important as his life to places like that. Ashabi has failed again, but Sharon pleaded that she was willing to put in more effort. This time, she suggested making it her own way. But wait a minute. What aggression does Ashabi have against Jiideh that will make her go this length to make sure Jiideh falls back to the trench? It all started during their youthful age. Young Ashabi was in love with Jiideh and will do anything for him, including sacrificing her life. And together with his friend Whaley, where they all grew up together. Life was so difficult for Jiideh as a preacher he aspired to become that it got to a point where everything was crumbling. As a matter of fact, a beggar had more honor than he did. He could see his colleagues, who he is better than, strive better than him. So he wanted to know what they were doing that he wasn't doing right. Ashabi will always remind him of who he was. Jiideh doesn't need to reduce himself to their standard, even though they were being tipped as local preachers. While they were talking, a young businessman, Chief Ifanyi, came to the community for a survey as a real estate mogul. He ran into the hands of miscreants who wanted to nab him. Fortunately for him, Jiideh and his girlfriend came to his rescue. One of them could recognize Ashabi as the daughter of the most powerful herbalist in the community, so they ran away. Chief Ifanyi wanted to repay them for helping him out, so he invited them to his office to see what he could do for them. Ashabi was more emphatic about what he could do for her boyfriend, but Jiideh had no skill, talent, nor experience. Chief Ifanyi introduced them to organ harvesting business, but Ashabi wouldn't accept such due to where she came from. He decided to give them money until Ashabi remembered that Jiideh could preach. Chief Ifanyi saw the young man as a significant tool to advance his course. This was when Jiideh's life took a new meaning. Ashabi knew that he also needed spiritual backup for the journey he was about to embark on, so she took Jiideh together with his friend to meet her father, Baba Ashabi. The great herbalist saw Jiideh's ambition was not genuine, but an obsession for wealth and power. Baba wouldn't help them and warned against it. Jiideh wasn't happy with what her father said, but Ashabi will go to any length to see her lover happy. She told them about another herbalist who was her father's friend and assured that the Baba will help them, but she wouldn't be involved so that she doesn't incur her father's wrath. Jiideh got the power he has always wanted, and he started his ministry together with his friend Whaley. They started healing and professing and also went for seminars for discernment, while they still practiced together in their single room. They were already getting the crowd they wanted. Things were beginning to go well for Jiideh until Ashabi brought the news that she was 2 weeks pregnant for him. Jiideh wasn't ready for such responsibility because of his newly found ministry. Jiideh and Whaley went to meet Chief Ifanyi, who bought him new clothes for his ministry. He asked Jiideh to bring his girlfriend along so that he can package them together to look more presentable. Jiideh told Chief Ifanyi that he could handle the ministry alone, and she doesn't need to be inside the picture of his new dream. This didn't go well with his friend, but he had no choice. Jiideh's problem now is how to terminate the pregnancy because he knows that Ashabi wouldn't accept such. Jiideh took her out for a drink with the intention of removing the baby, so he added some concoctions to her drink. Jiideh left Ashabi in her terrible condition and ran away to the point that it almost took her life. And back to the future, Sharon had to do it her own way. She called Jiideh on the phone to get his attention. She told him that she was horny and she wishes that she can have something as big as the size of his manhood, but she will go get a jumbo-sized dildo since she can't get him. Jiideh confessed that he was always available for her. He told her to hold it while he booked a hotel, but she insisted that she wanted it in his house. Jiideh had no choice other than to accept. He then called his wife that he was directed by the Spirit to sanctify the house. She must leave the house into another apartment with her guests from the church. Sharon came to his house and he couldn't wait. They started from the living room to the bedroom. They all had it sweet and going when she came back to the living room. The plan was to put substances into his water for him to sleep off, but grace kept coming through for the man of God as he almost caught her. Sharon must make sure that he drinks the potion, but the task is becoming tense. The man of God then got an emergency call from his boss. He has to leave whatever he is doing now. But he told Sharon to wait behind because they still have unfinished business. The opportunity came for Sharon to ransack the whole building for the drive. Ashabi knew it was going to be difficult to gain access into every door, so she also got prepared with the best hacker to break into the most impenetrable passcode. Sharon got her way into his office, and after a long search on every file she could lay her hands on, she finally found the drive. This was what Ashabi had been waiting for. Sharon has to leave the premises as quickly as possible. Ashabi got hold of the flash drive. She was about to find out the content on the drive, when it got to her greatest amazement that the content on the flash drive was way more than what she thought. Ashabi's anger got more fierce as she vowed to take down these evil people, ripping the lives of the innocent ones. First, she was going to return the money to every family who was duped by Jiideh and his syndicate. Ashabi thanked Sharon and paid her handsomely for a job well done. Sharon's pay was way too much than expected, so she wanted to know why she wants to bring down the man of God. The story is yet to be completed with all that truly happened. Sometimes, we don't know the genuine power sleeping within until we are faced between life and death. Ashabi never knew she had powers until her life was almost ripped off, but she needed her father's intervention this time. Her father was ashamed of her after all he warned her about Jiideh. The most painful part was that Ashabi was destined to have just one child, which was terminated. Her father almost cursed her if not for her late mother because his lineage has ended due to her recklessness. Now, Ashabi wants revenge. She wants it so bad that Jiideh cannot escape it to have ruined her life without a child. Even though she made attempts twice on him, Sharon has finally helped her achieve what seems impossible in getting the drive. This was really a joy to behold as her pains were becoming laughter. You can ask a woman how it feels when she knows that she can never conceive again. Her world gets cold each day, and every day she can't find someone to call her own. It was the burial ceremony of one of their victims again. Jiideh and his syndicates were all present as no one could suspect anything. Ashabi was also present but in spirit. Her time has come because the best revenge is not to be like your enemy. The burial ceremony ended as he approached his car to leave when she appeared for the second time. Jiideh was surprised to see her alive, or disappointed to see her dead, but his ego wouldn't let him. It's been 20 years since they last saw each other, and she is the last person he wished to see. Ashabi reminded him that everything he has become was all because of her, but he doesn't give a damn. He then got distracted by his driver and she disappeared. Don't expect a man of God like Jiideh to get terrified by such threats, even though she now also appears in his dream. He woke up disturbed until his phone rang. The worst had just happened. They have just lost 5 billion naira in 6 hours and are all on the run for their lives as they have been declared wanted by the police. Jiideh just found out that the system was compromised from his own end. He could think of no other person than Sharon. In less than a minute, his house was already surrounded by the police. Jiideh has only one escape route, which was through the back with his yacht. Sharon must pay for this, so he ordered them to bring her. Unfortunately, poor Mary had to suffer for what she knows nothing about. It may surprise you to know that the man of God has a secret place like this where he tortures his victims. Mary was shocked to see the man who she calls Daddy in church. He didn't care and was already losing his patience as he kept calling her Sharon. He almost pulled the trigger when the phone rang. It was Whaley. He just told Jiideh that he got the wrong girl. He had Sharon in his custody and was taking her to the secret place. Sharon was fortunate to still have her phone and was smart enough to untie herself to send Ashabi her location. Whaley brought the lady he was looking for, and he was shocked to see Sharon and at the same time, Mary. Are they twin sisters? They were also surprised to see each other. Jiideh just found out that Ashabi was behind all these. Now they had to leave to sort out other important issues since Ashabi was with the drive. The twin sisters got the opportunity to see each other even if it's for the last time. Sharon had been in Uganda with their mother while Mary was sold out to a Nigerian mother. They were still talking when they came back. Jiideh had no other option than to kill Sharon when Ashabi broke into their secret place. There was a fire rampage between Ashabi's men and that of Jiideh, which went deadly. There is a quote that says that there must be war while we defend our lives against a destroyer who would devour all. But I do not love the bright sword for its sharpness, nor the arrow for its swiftness, nor the warrior for his glory. I love only that which they defend. Unfortunately, poor Mary also lost her life in the rampage. Ashabi finally showed up, and the two lovers once again faced each other in a ballistic mode. Jiideh had a gun with him, and it's time to say goodbye to Ashabi, but what will happen?
Thanks for watching. Please comment your thoughts and also like and share this video for more super amazing videos that we are bringing to you. And if you're watching from our YouTube channel, you can also subscribe and turn on your notification for more. Thank you.